Unplugged with Nicki Marie. We're doing a midweek mashup solo style. I was hoping my brother would join me today, but in my true nature of Nicki-isms, I was last minute to all of this. My kids both have the hives. I think they're fighting something off, the viral hives. So they're upstairs. And I said, Mom is just going to break away and do a 20-minute Q&A. So, sick days, moms. You gotta just accept. Just accept them. Use it as a way to express your love language. My kids have their snack plates. I like taking care of them. I let them use the little trays, the little end table as trays on the couch with the TV on. Come on, nah. What's better than that? Your mom taking care of you on a sick day. Come on, nah. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk a little bit about New York. I just actually asked my brother what I am allowed to share about the trip I took to NYC yesterday. And I'm waiting to hear back on that. But I went to NYC to do a brand photo, video, brand campaign shoot. And I was the face of the campaign. And it was so fun to get hair and makeup and a wardrobe and like little breakfast and coffee and then lunch brought to you. City girl style, Sex in the City style without the sex. I had, and I'm going to say it and I'm going to upset some people, Cacio e Pepe. Am I saying it right now? Hold on. Let me look at my inbox here. So I had I said Cacio di Pepe and people were like, are you okay? I'm like, sorry, that's just the way I read it. So the Cacio e Pepe, Cacio e Pepe, it's like a cream sauce that's very peppery, black peppery, delicious. And this place, Scarpetto's, highly recommend. Scarpetto's is the restaurant attached to the James Nomad. The spectacular, I'll take 14 of them. That type of dish. You know, like when you eat something at a restaurant and you're like, I will go back for that. That rarely happens. Rarely happens. So anyway, we're going to embrace the Cacio e Pepe. All right. So New York, just I'm getting distracted by looking at my phone here, trying to figure out how you guys told me to pronounce it. And I'm just going to own the way I already said it because I want to keep rolling here. New York, hotel room, first class, Amtrak, Acela. As a mom, right? Like it's like a movie scene. You're leaving your kids behind. They're crying. You're reassuring them it's one night. And you're also realizing, wow, I don't do this enough to make it normal for me and comfortable for them. Maybe I should do this like once a month. So anyway, my management team put me on first class train. I've never been first class train. I used to work for a brand and they'd put me on the Acela, but the Acela Express was as far up as it got. So I don't know, perimenopause, whatever you call it. I'm sitting in first class. And the first thing I say to the woman on the side of me is, oh, don't worry. I'm not going to take up your time. I see you working. I'm not going to be chatty Cathy on you. Probably didn't need to say anything. I probably could have just scooted by and sat my butt down. And then my nervous energy, I'm looking at her and I see she's got like a glass of wine and this little thing of nuts in front of her. And she's on her laptop. And all of a sudden I see a menu in front of me and I open the menu thinking it's going to be like, you can order what you want and they charge you. And the menu doesn't have any pricing on it. And it's like a menu, like a restaurant menu. So I'm looking around and observing going, what's happening? Am I going to order this stuff and then have to pay? It's included in the price of the trip. Why didn't I know about this? Wine, mimosas, margaritas. If it's free, it's for me. If it's free, it's for me. So I ordered a glass of Sauvignon Blanc and I ordered, what did I end up having on the way there? Oh, a nice goat cheese salad. And I just sat there and it came with a pumpkin cheesecake, little thing in a glass jar. And I was like, in my little, and then I called my brother and I whispered, when he answered the phone, I called him and I said, Frankie, I think I'm going to cry. And he's like, why? I go, I'm in first class. You guys put me in first class. They put me in first class on the train. He goes, Nicki, it's a train. And I'm like, but it's the first class. And I just feel so appreciated. And he's like, okay, I gotta go. I'm working. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't take much, guys. It doesn't take much to just make me happy. Actually, I'm saying doesn't take much in the same tone that I'm saying it was first class. So just, I think you get what I mean. Feeling appreciated is like everything. Okay. And if you're watching this, you know I'm not really crying. And if you're not watching this, I'm just going to tell you I'm not really crying. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go into some Q&A and we're just going to bust this out. I've already been talking for almost 6 minutes. Okay, so here are my questions. Let's see. Let's go back to my questions. Mashup to the podcast yesterday. The Q&A's right here. And we're just going to rapid fire some questions from you guys. And I am not going to read the names, although you might want me to. I'm not going to read the names just in case for privacy reasons. If you ever want me to read the names, we'll get there. We'll get there. I'm going to try to do something on my website when I have it made where you guys can submit with your name, your voice even. Okay, ready? I'm going to go back to the restaurant story real quick because when I was trying to order off the menu, I couldn't see a fucking thing. I couldn't see a flipping thing. I was like this. And you know how like you remember the days where your mom like brought out the bifocal glasses, like those random glasses that you buy in like the Hallmark store, like the paper store, they're just hanging on a spinner. And I used to always look at those and be like, don't you have to go to an optometrist, like an eye doctor to get a prescription? What are these? Now I'm like, I might go stock up at the paper store later. I couldn't see a thing. I almost pulled out the flashlight to look at my menu. That's what I'm doing now as I'm looking at my IG responses. They're very small. Okay, we're going to start at the top of the list. Not a question, just a thank you. I had a miscarriage this month and your humor keeps me going. Miscarriage, loss of pregnancy is traumatizing. And it's like a quiet, isolated, traumatizing. I'm just going back in time to my experiences and I'm sending you so much love because it was so heartbreaking that I really had to, with everything in me, go into my silver lining playbook. This happened for a reason. This is meant to be. This is going to get my body ready for, the baby's still going to come to me. This is going to happen. And I remember feeling so scared. And then when I did get pregnant again, people don't understand the emotion of going back in. You get pregnant again, right? You're blessed, you get pregnant again, and you're in that ultrasound, and you're so nervous. And it's a fear and it's a sadness that it's like a club. That's what people used to say to me afterward is like, I'm part of the club that we never wanted to be part of. But like, once you know, you know. And I hope so many of you never know, but this is a lot more quote unquote normal than we realize. And it doesn't make it easier. No matter how far along you were, that baby is your baby. So I am thinking of you. I am sending you so much love. Okay. Talk about going from one mood to the next. This is the next question. First Disney trip in December for our family. Best tips and surprise ideas. Wowzers. I'm going to just give you 3 things that I know I will do every time we go. 1, Topolino's Terrace for the character breakfast. It's at the top of the Riviera. I think Dwayne is the waiter's name from New Jersey. Love him. Love him. I don't know if you ever can request him. Just love him. He's been there for a long time and he is a gem. And they do a wonderful job with the food, the pog juice, the drinks for mom, the pog juice for the kids. There's a basket of baked goods that comes out at the beginning. And let me tell you something, I would be happy with just that. And then they roll out the next stuff. It's a delight. You get the autographs, you do all the Disney stuff, beautiful views. 2 thumbs up for the Topolino's Taro breakfast. Second thing, it's going to be very food inspired on my behalf. Second thing, fireworks at Epcot. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to La Cava and you're going to get an avocado margarita with the tahine rim. It's frozen. You're going to love it. It's so freaking good. And you're going to get the chips, guac, and queso to go. And then you're going to go watch the fireworks with your little setup. I bring the stroller. My kids are big for a stroller, but I bring the stroller as my co-parent. And that was almost like what I used as my like tray. And the kids got to sit in the stroller to watch the fireworks. And I had my little setup from La Cava. Have to do that. You will not be disappointed. And 3, there was one that I was going to say. Oh, watching the fireworks one night from the beachfront at the Polynesian. You could do it even if you're not staying there. It's magical. Get on the monorail. If you don't want to stay in the hustle and the bustle of the fireworks at Magic Kingdom, go on over to Poly. Plan to get a Dole Whip. Plan to get a dinner. Maybe you do dinner in one of the restaurants, or maybe you do a little takeout, sit on that little beachfront. It's joyous. And you get to see the, what is it? The boat parade, the lights, the boat parade. That's Disney nostalgia right there. So I hope that is helpful. Okay. Where's your gorgeous necklace from? Everybody asked this. This is a link in the bio. They do not sponsor me, but I do get commission when you guys buy it because so many of you ask. And I was said to the brand, I'm like, hey, it's actually my friend Rachel and Omar. It's their business. We used to work together at Alex and Ani. And then they went off and they did their own thing. Rachel and Omar, I got you kids. They just did their grand opening in Chapel View in Cranston, Rhode Island, but their website's awesome. And they have a Nicki set linked, and it's in the bio of my social media. What do you call it? It's in the front of my social media. So if you go to my IG, it's in my profile. Link in bio, Erin Anchor. This is, a lot of people ask me, this is the 16-inch chain length as well. That's where I lack it, because I like to layer sometimes. Okay. What's your favorite Dunkin' drink? I know you said it, but I forgot. Okay, so here's like, Dunkin' does not sponsor my podcast yet. All right, so I work with Dunkin'. I've been partnered with them for 3 years in a way that's unique because I don't get compensated per post. I have an ongoing ambassadorship with them. So they've been so good to me. They also, fun fact, I also MC their Dunkin' corporate gala where we raised 1.7, was it 1.4 million? 1.4 million dollars for their Joy in Childhood Foundation. So I just want to plug that first because a lot of you probably think, here I am whipping out the sugary treats and whipping out the sugary drinks, and that it doesn't mean more to me than it does, but it does. It means a lot to me. They were my first brand that believed in me and offered me like a brand deal. So they're kind of a big part of the reason that I'm here. So long-winded answer to what's my favorite drink. My go-to for a long time was the just an oat milk latte. I'm big right now into like the macchiato vibes. So I would say if you're going to do something that would be like a Nicki favorite, it would be an medium iced oat milk macchiato with 1 pump of something. If you like their pumpkin, that's now. They have the ube right now. I haven't even tried it. Guilty as charged. They've got the purple ube. So I would do 1 pump because I don't like it sweet. The oat milk already has enough sweet for me, but I love the macchiato there. I hope that helps. Yeah. Medium iced oat milk macchiato. Sometimes I just get cinnamon on the top with no pump. No pump. No thrust. All right. What pink nail polish is that? It's OPI. I don't know. They asked me to get something for the photo shoot in the bubble bath arena. And I saw this one and I said, I think they will be happy with this since the brand colors were bright pink. I think this will play off well. I couldn't see. I forgot to look and I also couldn't read it. So I don't know, but you could look at that if you're watching this via video. It's a cute, like little bubbly petal pink. OPI petal pink. Did I get hair extensions? No. You guys just never see me with my hair down or blow dried. It does look long right now. It's probably because it's washed. It's always washed. Let me reframe that. It's always clean. I am a clean girly all the way, hygiene-wise. Hot mess express doesn't mean dirty. Okay, I don't go filthy dirty. So this is still from my blowout yesterday. And I've also been seeing a different stylist lately, and he's crushing it. So no, but thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. You usually see me in my hot mess mom bun. Have you had any work done? Botox, filler. Your glow is amazing. No judge zone. So I'm going to start with this. Yes, Botox. No on the filler. I did Sculptra. That was one of my friends owns an esthetician office, and she invited me in to do it as the model for it. And I only did one. You're supposed to do like a few. It was invasive. It's it's like a treatment that helps you produce your own collagen. So I don't know if that's what you're seeing. I don't know, because it's not like immediate. But I did that a few months ago. I think the biggest thing that I did that it feels the most vulnerable to say is I did neck Botox on my bands. I'm like thinner and athletic, and these bands were just like sticking out so much. But I also was getting this neck jiggle down there, and my girl was like, I got you. And she did Botox in my neck bands, and it didn't hurt at all. It just feels a little weird. Okay. So thank you for asking. And what I wanted to start with is I take care of myself from the inside out, contrary to popular belief with all my, my treats that you guys see. I eat pretty clean. I eat a lot of salad, a lot of greens, a lot of smoothies, a lot of trail mix, nuts, fruits, veggies, and AG1 every morning, coffee every morning. I use good skincare. It's a little bit of everything. And it's also taking your walks, getting your workouts. There's so much more to skin and glow. And I don't drink much. So there's so much there that goes into skin. I think everything starts from the inside out. I hope that helps. Hold on. Pause. Cue the elevator music while I try to. What is the little house in the background? So funny that it's here while I'm recording. That is a little Dutch style house that I had built for the kids when we refurbished the basement. So this is the basement that I'm in now. And what you're asking about, if you're listening via audio, is I have this little thing under my basement, and it looks like a house on the outside, and under it's like a little nook where the kids used to play. I that's when I was working corporate, and we spent a lot of money on the basement. And I was thinking it would be the place where the kids always played. And it's funny because they really are only down here when I'm down here. So I might as well use it for some podcast space. How to balance climbing the corporate ladder while having kids. Well, that's funny. That's funny you ask me that, because I'm the complete opposite move. I was climbing the corporate ladder when I had Layla. I got back to work after having her, and I got asked to take on a team of 31 people and to make cuts. Specific orders from the president of the company was, hey, I think you can do this. I've heard great things about you. He came in when I was out on maternity leave. I think you could do great things. I need you to clean up some of this stuff, clean up these departments. I had to go from being like the really good, nice girl, nice woman with a rock star team, to like the big bad wolf, where I had to make cuts, which saved the company over $1.6 million. So anyway, I just made that about me. I'm answering your question. Okay. I think I have a little PTSD from that experience. So I'm not a great example of how to, because I leaned completely out after having Chase. Political reasons internally, emotions, probably a lot of hormones, probably a lot of my changed perception on like what I was supposed to be as an adult and a mom. So all I can tell you is to follow what your mind, body, and spirit tells you to do. This is not something that anyone else can answer for you. I personally was feeling like a mess every day at 5 p.m. We technically, quote unquote, close the office at 5:30. I would at 5 start getting anxiety about, am I going to get out of here at 5:30? Is that appropriate to get out here at 5:30 when I'm leading a team? I don't want to feel like I'm rushing out the door, but I also don't want to be sitting in traffic for an hour and not see my kids so close to 7. And it became so much anxiety to get to work in the morning and get home at night. I just felt like I was missing my kids so much so that it affected me at work too. So, why I'm telling you that is I had to really take the time to settle in. It took me to sit a year with these feelings to decide what my next move was. So, it wasn't oh, I woke up and I'm so blessed financially that I'm just going to leave to raise my kids. But I ask you to sit with whatever you're feeling. If it's, I want to lean in more, I want to show my kids that I can be a badass boss while also being a badass mom, then go do it. I support you 1,000%, lean into it. But what you're going to sit on is, how do I do it? Where am I risking my mental health? Where am I feeling guilty or held up, or where I'm not performing? So this answer is on you, my girly pop. Okay, I'm going to do one more because we're already at the time limit and I want to get this up. How do you deal with ADD? Have you seen my content? Because that's how I deal with ADD. I laugh about it. I own it. I talk about it. I apologize to my friends for some of it where I used to bury it and just think, oh God, they're going to be mad at me. And now I own it. So how do I deal with it? I've tried medication. It doesn't work for me. Every day being on here, talking about it, learning about it, following podcasts on it. Mel Robbins and what's the guy that just got the big award? It's ADHD Chatter. So learning about myself and sharing the best part of myself with people, but also owning up to the parts that are hard for other people is huge. Huge. Just getting people to understand without making excuses, talking vulnerably about it. Okay, and then I said that's the last one. I'm going to do one more because I see it. I'd love to start a podcast. How do I get started? I'm on Riverside right now, riverside.fm studio. Once you get on Riverside and sign up, there's really no excuses because it's a studio. You press record, you go, and you do the damn thing. So I waited for 3 years to do this. There's no right time. Just jump in. As long as you have something to say and you know how to say it. Not all podcasts are created equal. So you just got to be realistic with yourself as well as graceful about all of it. But there is no right time to start anything. Okay, that's all for today. Remember, on Monday, we got Joe Frost for part 2 of Super Nanny and Nicki chatter. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for putting this on the charts. And don't forget to follow me on socials. Nicki Marie Inc., Nicki Unplugged. This is just the beginning for us, guys. Love you. Holly girl. Stay for more.